What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben, and welcome back to the Charlie Mac Appreciation Group Build. This is episode number 2, and today we are going to be focusing on primer and paint. It's going to be a really fun time here on the bench today. So let's go ahead and start pulling out the pieces, and I'll talk a little bit about our plans here. So I want to go ahead and try to make up a custom color of a semi-gloss black. And I want to go ahead and use the new Model Masters acrylic that I picked up, and I'm going to add a little bit of flat base in there just to go ahead and paint the interior that nice semi-gloss black. I don't want anything too shiny. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can't make a mixture and create our own semi-gloss black just with our basic flatting agent, and then of course the actual paint. Now I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but we're going to try it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it turns out beautifully. Now also, we have to go ahead and prime everything. We have our Stynylrez primer for that. And once it's all primed, then I can go ahead and come back and I can start airbrushing and painting the inside and the top side as well. I want to go ahead and see if I can't use a little bit of that Charlie Mac green today and see how it turns out. I think the body should be more or less very simple to do. The inside though, with the interior, that's going to be hard to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just try it out on the exterior. Going to hit it with that Stynylrez primer, and hopefully this should work well. So I went ahead and stuck everything down to some tape and attached that to my painting board here. So we are ready to go ahead and start laying down that primer. Like I said, we're going to be shooting the gray Stynylrez primer. This is amazing stuff, guys. So this should go on super smooth, and it's going to give us a nice base to work off of to go ahead and build up our different paint layers. So let's go ahead, drop it into that airbrush, and hit all the parts and pieces with this amazing primer. All right, no rest for the wicked, everybody. We need to go ahead and now come back with our semi-gloss black that we created, Model Masters acrylic, with just a little bit of flat base from Tamiya. So let's go ahead and spray all the internals and see how it works. Should be pretty slick. Not too shabby, everybody. I'm really digging how that's turned out. Here's the body. The primer dries extraordinarily fast. I got to tell you that Stynylrez primer really does dry. But of course, it highlights certain areas. For example, there are these seam lines on each of the corners here on the body. One I've already started working on. We need to go ahead and eliminate all of those. The way I'm going to be doing it, of course, is sandpaper. I've got two different grits, 1500 and 7000. And of course my jeweler file, and I've got some 350 grit sandpaper as well off camera that I might be able to use. Now we're just going to slowly work down that seam line, taking just a bit off here at a time. Once we're comfortable with that, we're going to go to the sandpaper. I'm going to use my 1500 grit sandpaper. We're going to go ahead and sand it down. Once I'm happy with that, then we can come back and hit it with some 7000 grit sandpaper as well. That should help to kind of smooth everything out. Now for those persistent panel lines, we're going to be using some 350 grit sandpaper, which is going to really rip into that plastic. But that's okay because like I said, I've got the 1500 and the 7000, so we should be able to bring this down to a nice smooth finish no matter what we do to it. And then of course, after this is all sanded and worked down, we're going to come back and we're going to overshoot all of it again with primer. That's going to help to kind of balance everything out, give it a nice protective covering, and help to fill in any micro scratches that we just can't see or that the 7000 grit sandpaper won't actually remove. Once that's good, then we're going to be ready to go ahead and start painting with that awesome Charlie Matte green. So let's get all the corners wrapped up so we can move on from there. All right, everybody, we are ready for Charlie Matte green. Let's load it up and give it a shot. All right, everybody, so our Charlie Matte green turned out beautifully. I love the shade. It's a super nice green, but it's not too outlandish. It doesn't look too fluorescent. It looks really cool, kind of muted, kind of subtle, but I like how it looks. And in certain lights, it actually changes color, so that's kind of cool too. So I'm happy. I'm very happy. We're going to go ahead and let this dry, though, because I don't want to screw it up in any way, shape, or form. So we'll let it dry, and next episode, we're going to come on back, and we're going to tackle some of the interior. And we're going to try to go ahead and paint up some of the accent panels and the seats. That's kind of my next big step. So until next episode, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Until then, go out, get yourself some bench time, build something for Charlie, and we'll see you back here next week on the Charlie Mac Appreciation Group Build. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you soon.